We've already gotten rid of one. Holy crap. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Katarina's Garage. My name is Katarina Lloyd, and well, I'm in Automotive Candyland. On this property, there's over 150 cars on it. Some more modern vehicles, but mostly classic cars, like, you know, this Fox body, or that Fox body down there, or, you know, Catfish Camaro, or Fox body, Catfish Camaro, Buick Apollo, you name it. There's a bunch of stuff out here. There's even an Alfa Romeo Spider over there, so let's see what we can find in here. So we have this Aero GT Mustang, which this would be 87 to 93. It's locked, but it's actually got, oh, it's nice, it has some Halo headrests in it, and it's got a GT Grand steering wheel with the T5 manual. That's nice. Judging by the box there, it's probably got a 650 Holley carb under the hood, which is nice. This car's actually, I mean, it's got a little bit of condition, but really not too bad at all. I don't know what year it is, just because, well, these arrows are really hard to tell years from. I can just tell you a year range. But this car actually is not in too bad a shape. It's got the cheese grater, so that would tell me it's 87 to about 1990, give or take, unless they were sort of swapped in. It's still 4-lug, which, you know, all these Fox bodies came 4-lug, excluding a couple of the, like, Lincoln Mark 7, Mustang SVO, and the SVT Cobra Rs for these. So, and that's the one thing. Everything you see here is for sale. So, if you are looking for anything, you know, comment down below, and also I will leave contact information down in the description as well. You know, we have this Camaro here, which is really cool. This Camaro is, I'm not sure exactly what year it is, but I know they made these Catfishes from like 94-ish to 2004, give or take. They're very cool. This one happens to be, is it a manual as well? Oh, it is too. Nice. So you got a stick shift in this one, and judging by the wheels, which are really cool, and the dual exhaust, it's probably either an LT1 or an LS. You know, which people want these quite a bit, and it looks like it. No, it doesn't. It almost looked like that was a Targa, but it's not actually. But this one had an interesting, like, decal job, whatever else, in the past, and just a very, very cool car. You know, here we have pretty much identical to my car, except for this is probably a 4-banger or a V6. Judging by it's got these little Nerf wheels, which the cool part about these wheels here is that they got this material that's kind of like flexible. It's such a weird thing that Ford did in the 80s, and I have no idea why, but literally this is actually pretty similar spec to my car. You know? Oh, it's got some black seats in it. And, you know, like, it's got, you know, power windows and everything, and same dash, and this is like identical car to mine. White top too, which the top is, you know, needing to be replaced, but that's not super surprising. But this is actually kind of a clean car. And it is an LX, just like the one I came in. But now the big question is, what is under the hood? Because the wheels point me towards it being a 4-banger or V6. But, let's see. And that is a V6, 3.8. And now, because I don't know if this one's an 85 or 86, but judging by it's an automatic, this probably has a CFI injection system on it, which this injection system was used from 1984 until, well, actually 83 in the Lincoln, 84 in the Mustang, until 1986 with these V6s. And yep, that's exactly what that is. So if I take you off here really quick, you can see this awesome little CFI injection unit here. They were not known for their reliability with them. They would, good chance of like overfueling whatever else, and case in point, the original motor in the in my Mustang out there, well, it had this and it actually overfueled and killed the motor. All right, so let's continue on here. We've got an OBS, Chevy, we got a Grand Prix GTP. So this one had a 3.8 supercharged motor, or maybe a 5.3 LS4, potentially, but really cool, honestly. Very much a sleeper, and these things were pretty quick back in their day. I really like, yeah, very much a sleeper and actually a very comfortable vehicle. Now this is a Buick Apollo. So the Buick Apollo was the same thing as the Chevy Nova. And the thing is, this was just up trimmed, and I believe this was the highest trim you could get for it, being the Buick, because there was obviously the Nova, and then there was, I believe, a Pontiac version of it as well. And yeah, very cool to see. You don't see very many of these, and this is a, you know, mid to late 70s, like 75-ish to 74, 75, all the way up to like 79, I believe, is when they built these. You know, very cool. And we've got this Fox body over here, which is an 85 or 86. I'd have to look. I think it's an 85. The thing is, it's got a 302 under the hood, which you can see right here. It's got an Edelbrock carb on it. It, you know, it's pretty awesome overall. I like it. This thing's actually not in that bad a shape. And something that's kind of cool about it, it is a convertible. It's got these American racing wheels on it. And it says racecraft suspension. So like this was a, this one was built a little bit anyways. You know, and you got manual windows and everything. It's an automatic, and you got the aftermarket brake pedals on it. And it's got a Thunderbird steering wheel in it. That's a little interesting. Again, same seats that are in the other one. A little faded. Top's kind of wrecked. But then it's got this Ford Motorsport roll bar in it, which it is solidly mounted. So that's a good sign. You know, this is just like a bare bones convertible, which is kind of unusual to find like this. But the top is trash, and there is some rust on it. You know, dual exhaust. And yeah, very, very cool. You know, this would be something that I could be potentially interested in. Maybe. We'll see. Again, I don't know how much stuff is going to go for out here, so just got to throw offers. You know, here we have this El Camino, which these El Caminos were made, so this is like the G-body El Camino, which started in about 1979-ish, or at least this body style, but technically the G-body didn't start till, I think it was 80 or 81. And they're very cool. It was, you know, essentially a Chevy Malibu with the ass end cut off and turned into a pickup truck. They're very neat. And this one, with the hood pins and everything, there's probably something cool underneath the hood. Which, let's see, I would assume a V8. Just trying to remember how these open. It's been a while. If I can even open it, I don't think I can. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's got headers on it and everything. No, that's nice. Very nice. I can't tell if it's a small block or a big block, but that's very cool. I do like it. And luckily, it's solid enough, because like some of these hoods can cause you problems. But, and these you do have to watch out though, because the rear frame rails can rot away, which when you see a rust like this, it does make you concerned potentially about that. But yeah, no, aftermarket tack in here and everything. This thing's pretty rough, but you know, it was definitely a hot rod back in its day, and it's very cool. I do dig it a lot. Let's see, we got another OBS Z71 off-road step side short box, which is kind of cool. I do dig it. It's kind of interesting to see the cab lights up top with it being a step side, but you know, that's no big deal. Here we have another Aero Mustang. This one has got a sunroof, which unfortunately it's rotted out around there. So this one needs a roof skin at the very least. It is 4-lug as well, which is not super surprising. It is a T5. Let's see, is it unlocked? No, it is locked. So it does have a T5 under the hood. Let's see, does it have dual exhaust on it? No, it's only got single exhaust. So this might be, it might just be a base 302 car that's a non-GT, because it doesn't have all the aero kit on it. But, you know, it's a pretty neat little car, actually. Like, it is a 5-liter car, so there you go. It does say 5.0 on the side. Most of it's modified, but it doesn't seem to be. Let's see, continue on here. Got the square body S10, which is pretty cool. You know, you don't see as many of these around anymore. And it's rather sad because they are really awesome trucks. And to be honest, make fantastic hot rods too for people. But most people go for the newer ones at the same token. And also, I kind of glossed over, there happens to be a C4 Corvette sitting here, which it's kind of unusual to find like a field find, you know, C4 Corvette, but it's pretty cool. I do like it. It's pretty rough though. Like, and these were a pure fiberglass car, just the floors themselves would be metal, and they call that the bird cage, so you do have to watch out for that. But yeah, let's continue on here. You know, got the nice F-150 Lariat. Got, ooh, a nice Firebird here, Trans Am actually. There you go, so Firebird Trans Am, it's right here. This was competition directly for the Mustang GT, and these were a lot heavier, and not quite as popular, but still really, really, really cool. And I'm a big fan of these, to be honest. This one's an automatic, and it's probably got a 305 under the hood, maybe a 350, but hard to say for sure. We got this awesome Dodge Stepside here, which, oh yeah, this thing is pretty damn cool. You don't see too many of these, and this is, judging by this front end, it's early 70s, I believe. Like 74-ish, 73. Gorgeous, gorgeous truck. You know, if we take a look inside, there's a bunch of little parts in here. There's a 1-barrel carb there, which leads me to believe this may have been a slant 6 car at some point. But you never know. And yeah, because it doesn't look like there is not an engine underneath that hood. So, but it's got really good bones to it. So, who knows? We got a bullnose Ford here. You know, again, pretty cool. Early 80s. We've got, oh, yo. There is a first-gen Mustang back here. Now, I don't know what year this one is, but it's early. It's 64 through 66. It's got, the 200 inline 6 in it. There you go. I know the little motor very well. Now, is this one an automatic or, oh, is this a manual? Oh no, the transmission's gone out of it. But was it an automatic or a manual? This thing's pretty roached out, unfortunately. Transmission's not in it. And it was a manual. Okay, so somebody took, that would have been a 3-speed, more than likely in this. Very rarely a 4-speed. And you could just smell the fuel in this. It's just, whew. And also, there's a Cadillac hearse here. That's kind of cool. Don't see too many of those around. But, yeah, no. Just, this thing's pretty roached. But it's pretty cool at the same time. Let's see. An S350 quad cab dually, which is really cool. Lariat. You know. And, well, yeah. So it had some upgrades to it, because you can see this fan is not original. And that intake is, though. So they put an aftermarket fan in it, but very cool. Got the square body Chevy step side. Very nice. It's lifted up quite a bit. You know? Very, very nice. And it's actually not in terrible shape. Like, I mean, cab, you know, is kind of rusty, but that's not unusual. It is a 4-speed. Actually, that's a 3-speed with a bow low. So 4-speed, but that first gear is mostly for just like crawling and stuff like that. I've experienced with those transmissions because my Uncle 77 has one of those. Here we have another square body. This is a GMC Sierra. So this one was actually, had a bit more options in it. It's an automatic. And yeah, no, it's very, very cool. I dig it a lot. So I'm kind of rushing through some of this just because there's a lot to unpack here. There's over 100 vehicles out here. So, you know, got the Tahoe here. Have another one of these OBSs. Have a square body Suburban here. There's a little bit of a hole that I stepped in, so apologies. Automatic. Very cool. And it's GMC Suburban. Oh, hey, a Chrysler 5th Ave. Yo. These all had either 318s or 360s in them. And this one's actually kind of clean. you know? And these were just like the luxury, because you can see like the button tuck and everything, super pillowy, and oh yeah, this is actually a nice car. And these would so these were some of the last Chrysler V8 rear-wheel drives until the LX platform came out in in 2005 with the Chrysler 300 and the Magnum. Now, this is the Chrysler M platform, which, like I said, is the last breed of these rear-wheel drives. Really cool, though. We got a G-Body Monte Carlo over here. This is cool. You know, I love these little G-Bodies, to be honest. This one's got the SS Craiger mag, so you do have to be careful with these because they're usually unilug, and the unilugs, if you don't have the right lug nuts on, they'd come right off. So, column shift, bucket seats, very cool. Very, very, very cool. I like this a lot. And like I said, you have to watch those rear frame rails though, always in these G-bodies. Now, what's under the hood of this one, just out of curiosity? I'm gonna presume it's a 3.8 V6, but might be V8. Okay, it is a V8, probably a 305, maybe a 350. Very cool, very cool. All right, just close the hood back again. There you go, a Mazda B2200, which is pretty neat. You don't, this is like, you know, mini truck, part of that whole sort of movement. Ooh, I see something very rare behind me. This is a 5-speed truck, which is cool. You know, has a little 2.2 liter 4-banger in it, and they're actually very good trucks, and this one's actually in fairly good shape overall. You know, that'd be pretty cool. But this, I know exactly what this is. So this is a Chevrolet Malibu, about 1981, actually. I believe these were 81 only. This has, so under the hood, it should have a Buick 3.8 V6. Correct? Because this is a special one. I can't open the hood. But I believe, because I saw the shifter inside, is this? It is. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is an Iraqi taxi. So GM of Canada in 1980/1981, they actually had a contract with Iraq to build these cars. Now, these cars did not have heaters in them. They didn't have any really options. They were just a bare bones car with a 3-speed manual transmission in it with a 3.8 V6 up front. And unfortunately, they were not very reliable in the Iraqi heat. So as a result, they kind of had a surplus here of them because there was a lot. And they just said, screw it. We are just going to sell these to the Canadian public at a very steep discount. And they sold extremely well. You don't see very many of them still original anymore, which is kind of cool to see, that Iraqi taxi. All right, let's see what else we can find here. Because you can see, you know, Dodge Caravan, Ford truck, you know, mostly like scrap sort of stuff or parts, potentially. Got a couple of ambulances. And the one vehicle especially that I was interested in when I saw the pictures is right over here. This is a Mercury Capri, but it does not have its original taillights in it. And it doesn't have the original hatch. That I can tell. This would be a bubble back Capri, because I'm pretty sure this would have been originally a bubble back. Now it's got the Nerf wheels on it, so yeah, it would be. If it's got the Nerf wheels, this would be like an 83 to 86. Let's just see. Is it a 4-banger or is it a V6? Oh, it's an inline 6. Okay, this is an early one. This is the same spec as mine. And wait a minute. Is this? No. No, this can't be. Is this? It's a little rusty. Oh my God, it is. This is a unicorn. So this is, what year is this one? 1981. Okay. This is a 1981 Mercury Capri with the S-Rod 4-speed manual in it. You can see the manual pedals down there. Where the hell was this when I was looking for a bell housing? This would have made my life so much easier. And now it's got a Mustang tail on it. This, I think I might be able to put this back together. It might run, who knows? But it looks like it'd be, it's actually not in too bad a shape. This is, sadly, somebody put this sunroof in it, but that's okay. I'm very interested in this, actually. But who knows? I don't know how much they'd sell it for. But this one, very much interesting. And it happens to be an 81, which is just the year that I always find. We have this cool tow truck here, too. You know, old Chevy tow truck. This thing's neat. Square body. It's missing a door on that side. Looks like to be a manual transmission. Very, very, very cool. If I go into the hood, all right, we have got a 350 under the hood. There you go. Very nice. 350 manual. No idea if it runs, but it's a 350. A lot of them do run. And yeah, oh, that Capri is just calling my name, man. We'll see. We'll see. Because even if it's just like a good parts car for me, because it could be. Yeah, so you can see, you know, you got all your controls down there. Manual transmission. Very cool. You know, have a couple more modern vehicles. Ooh! Okay. Fiat X19. Now, these are kind of a funky little vehicle because the Fiat X19 was a little sports car designed by Bertoni in Italy, and of course by Fiat, right? Built it. And these were not good vehicles, but they're so cool. You don't see too many of these around. And it is a manual, which is pretty cool. And you know, like these existed from like 74, 75-ish till like 1980 or so. Pretty cool. I remember watching a show called, oh God, it was a Canadian game show when it came to cars. And you brought your beater cars, and if you got through the challenges, you could get a restoration on your car. And if you lost, your car would get like a giant spike shoved through it. There was one of these that just split in half when the spike went through it, but it's very cool. You know, there's a 3+3 dually over there, which is freaking killer as well. And here we have another Mustang. Now, this would have been a 4i Mustang. It is a manual, but the motor is long gone. It also hasn't had, you know, the sunroof is gone. Yeah, that would be, depending on what year this is, which, judging by the taillights and everything, this would be like a little later. That's a T5, but whether it is a later T5 or an early T5, it's probably an early T5, which doesn't have as much value, but this is a decent little parts car, to be honest, because it's pretty rusty right here. But, you know, it's got a lot of good parts on it, though. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Got another square body Chevy here, which is pretty cool. It's got a flat deck on the back of it because, you know, boxes rotted out, and that's what happened to every single one of these, pretty much, that ever existed. And, yeah, still pretty cool. You know, got an OBS here. Got, oh, this is another little Chrysler 5th Ave. This, it's a Grand Marquis limo. Now, this is pretty neat, actually. So this is on the Panther body platform, which is the last breed of the body-on-frame sedan slash coupes. This would have probably either a 351 or a 302 under the hood. Now, these limos were created by coachworking companies, and they were very much slapped together. Underneath, this thing would be a hodgepodge of, like, just kind of awfulness to stretch it out like that. But they're still very cool to see overall. I got this big-ass motorhome here and a giant hole here. Let's just walk over that. And here we go. So this is a Plymouth Fury. Again, M-body platform as well. And same as that Chrysler 5th Ave, it's the same thing. These were Canadian only, I'm pretty sure, actually. In these years, anyways. And it's just very, very cool to see. You know, automatic, because I'm pretty sure they all were. And like you can see, it's not quite as luxurious, because it's a Plymouth, not a Chrysler. But very nice indeed. Ooh, now this is kind of a rare beast. So this is a Volkswagen Passat W8 4Motion, which the W8 is no longer under the engine bay, but they were essentially two 4-bangers, I believe, combined to make an 8-cylinder engine for these. And being a 4Motion, it is all-wheel drive. So that is really, really cool. Let's see, what else have we got over here? Like I said, I want to get through everything here that I can, so that's why I'm kind of speed running this. This is a Grand Fury. Okay, so this is actually early 70s. This would be like 74-ish, maybe 75, 73, somewhere in that range. It is a small block because the distributor's in the back. So it's probably 318 or maybe a 360. Doesn't matter, it's a Grand Fury. It's probably 360, but you never know. Column shift automatic, bench seat. Yeah, these are unibody as well. And this was kind of one of Chrysler's, you know, nicer sort of like going down the road, like basic car at the same time, because it is Plymouth after all. But, yeah, very cool. A lot of people just turn these into derby cars because, well, they're big, good for nothing vehicles that way, and they work really well for that. So here we have another G-body Monte Carlo. Yeah, is it a Monte Carlo? Yeah, it is. Luxury sport. Okay, that's why, because the front end was throwing me off. I'm like, I'm not used to this. So this will be a later one then. And this is like the upper echelon of these Monte Carlos. It's a T-top car. And just for like luxury wise, because you've got everything button tuck and oh yeah, screams 80s, doesn't it? Very nice indeed. It's not in too bad shape actually. Just you wonder, you know, does it run or anything like that, and what's everything about it. Now it's a little bit beat up back here though, but and crunched in on the quarter here and right there. But hey, if somebody was looking for one, you know what? It's right here, and I can't imagine there's too many of these around. Here we got a Honda Prelude, which is pretty cool. This is the last generation of the Prelude until they brought out the new one, which they've announced, but, you know, I don't think it's been released yet. And this one happens to be a manual. Oh, it's under the, I can't open the door. But it's a 5-speed or maybe a 6-speed, depending on what version of the Prelude this is. This would have actually the H22 V6 in it, and these were a little bit of a hot rod in their day. And they didn't produce like a ton of power, but they did do very well in other things, so very cool. And an Alfa Romeo Spider. So this looks like a later one actually, just judging by the bumpers and whatever else, but I can't really tell. If somebody wants to let me know. I won't open, that's okay. You can see in there though, 5-speed and everything, and very, very cool. They did make these for quite a while. They made these from, let's see, like, I think it was from like the mid to late 60s all the way up into the 80s. And they're just very cool. This one's, you know, a little beat, but very, very neat overall. All right, so here we have this Ford Mustang L. Is kind of unusual. Notchback, which is pretty cool. It's an early one. It's got no motor in it. Oh, it's got the high back vinyl seats without headrests. So this is very early then. So this is 79 to 82, which, yep, case in point, the front end. That is a manual. So this was an S-Rod. So this is probably a 255 car. Maybe it's a actually, is it a 79? If it's a 79, it'd be a 302 car. There we go. It is, no, it's an 81 or 82. It is an 82. There you go, right there. So this was either a 255 or a 302 in this car. And it's a manual. So it'd be an S-Rod, unless it was swapped for a T5, I don't think so. And this is an aftermarket sunroof as well. But this thing's actually not terrible, to be honest. This is like, there's a couple of these that I'm gonna be throwing towards my buddy Keith, be like, hey, there's a few Fox bodies that are here. You know? Third brake light that was added by somebody. That was like a common thing back in the 80s to do that. But very, very cool. Let's see. What else do we have over here? Let's just venture. Because step side, you know, OBS, Oldsmobile Alero. Here's the other Capri that they were talking about. There's a Ford Ranger with a 5-speed in it. That's kind of cool. All right. This is a hodgepodge. So, ooh, this would be worth it as a parts car. 5-speed. It is such a hodgepodge of parts here. So, okay, this is like an 81, 82-ish, judging by the door panels here. What year is it? 82. Early 82, actually. It's February of 82 build. That's cool. What's under the hood here? I don't think there's anything. Because this is... So it's got... This is a pace car front end on it, or an 82 GT with a Capri, and you can tell like it doesn't fit. The hood is longer than the actual thing. Okay, it is a 302. There actually is a motor under here, but it's pieces, right? Or it's a 255. What does the tag say on it? This was, oh, it's 3.8? No, okay, original, the hood is off a 3.8 car. It's not the original hood on this, because obviously, yeah. Okay, this is weird. So this is a Mustang with a Capri hood, Capri bubble hatch, Mustang tail on it. This is a weird hodgepodge of parts here. But I want those headrests, but I don't have the money. Because they are halos with the nets. But maybe I can convince Keith to buy a couple vehicles down here, and then as a finder's fee, I just get those. But yeah, this is a parts car, definitely. But it's kind of a interesting hodgepodge. And unfortunately, like, too bad that it's damaged up here, because this would actually be worth something. You know, this front end here. There's a boat. Cool old speedboat. Sonoma. Let's see what else we got out here. Square body. It's an interesting year for this, because it's side by side with that. It's like 84-ish, but we'll see. A couple of sport bikes in there. Square body. Suburban. Another tow truck. Another, 90s Ford. Ooh, Caprice wagon. Yo. This is pretty sweet. These things are body on frame, the last Chevy body on frame vehicle that they ever made. And it's an 8-passenger, so you can see the rear seat folds out like that. Too bad that the glass is smashed. You'd never find that. But Chevrolet Caprice plastic. Now the thing is it unlocked? Probably not. Oh, it is. And there's, let's see, where is the hood release? That's park brake release. Oh, it was right here, but it's gone. So this could have a 305 under the hood or a 350. Likely a 305. But it's pretty cool. And these are like super comfortable. It's like riding a couch down the road. Absolutely awesome. Here we have kind of a nice out looking Accord. Back window's smashed out. Cool little automatic. 4-lug, obviously, because Honda. And yeah, this was, Honda Accord, good vehicles overall. And I bet this thing would just about fire right up unless there's like a motor or transmission problem or whatever, but very, very, very cool. Another square body, 3+3, very cool. And yeah, Chevy Coupe van, very cool. There's also this old Mercedes here, which this Mercedes like 90 or like late 90s. This is like the 3C, or no, because it's not the big Merc. This would be the smaller one, I think. like the V6 one. And yeah, no, pretty rusty, but pretty cool overall. So yeah, we'll see what else we can find. Yeah, it's just absolutely incredible to see this stuff. Like there's that, you know, Mustang notchback again, Camaro, a couple other Fox bodies, whatever else, and just amazing. Dude, this thing's kind of cold. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. But if you're wondering, I'm actually in my old 86 Mustang. This is not my car anymore, but, you know, I'm borrowing it after my car's kind of down at the moment. But yeah. And plus I bought a car. I'll let you know about that at the end. Ooh, nice. There's some cool stuff over here. Let's see what we find. Alright, so here we have another one of these, you know, late... This is actually an earlier Camaro because it has the steel beam headlights in it. But it's still kind of like that catfishy type style, which is very cool. But yeah, no, that's very, very neat. It's got a 5-speed manual in it. And I'm a big fan of these, actually. Now, working on them, God no, run away. Like the motor's like all the way underneath the dash, and you have to drop the rear axle to get to the fuel pump. Nightmare fuel. But very cool nonetheless. Now, this is not for sale, but this is actually Billy's Mustang that she picked up fairly recently. Now, this is a 3.8 V6 car, and with the AOD transmission, this thing is pretty darn neat. I do like the look of it. Unfortunately, though, it's got all this, like... So this is primer in here, and you can tell, like, the paint's cracking in there, so that would need to be addressed. But it's actually, you know, fairly decent car, actually. And yep, it smells just like a lot of S95s I've been in, for sure. And yeah, very, very cool. I like it. I dig this a lot. And now people are going to be eyeing this, but actually, so it's not a Dart, it's actually a Scamp or a, let's see, is it a Scamp? It is a Scamp. So, okay, the Plymouth Scamp, now this is not for sale, just FYI. This is just something I'm checking out here. So this is, being a Plymouth Scamp, this is a long wheelbase version of the Plymouth Valiant. It's only like an extra 3 inches longer, a little more luxurious, stuff like that. And they are very, very popular for people to build out. And this one's really, really clean. This is like a 68 or 69, I think. Somebody might have to, you know, let me know in the comments, but gorgeous, gorgeous car. And he's part of Northern Mopars. Okay, cool. I've actually heard of that group. Yeah, this thing's mint. It's gorgeous. Let's move on here. We've got, nice, a 63 Pontiac, probably Laurentian or Catalina. Says V8, which, that's not surprising. Bench seat. Column shift automatic. You know, it's very, very cool. Oh, it's a Parisienne. Okay, so this is a Canadian-only version of one of these. And because, like, they did have, you know, the... So what this actually is underneath, this would be a Chevrolet Caprice, technically. The Pontiacs use different frames, they use different engines. So this would have, if it's still in here, a small block Chevy, which... I can't open the hood very well. These old hoods can be such a pain in the ass to try and get open, but unless it just pulls up, like, really hard. Hang on. There we go, got it open. All right, little 2-barrel here. Car, distributor's missing. This would have been maybe a 283, actually, being as early as this one is. This is like a 65, 66, somewhere in there. But very, very cool old thing. Now we have another Fiat Spider. This one's a little different than that other one up there. Now, these are the ones that you saw more around, and they're very, very cool. I like these quite a bit. But, nightmare fuel, though, to find, like, not us, like, some parts would be nightmare fuel, but, like, getting these running and running right, you'd have a bitch of a time doing that. But, very cool, and very awesome. I do like it. Let's see. What else have we got over here? 2nd gen Ram. Oh, single cab short box. Yo, that's cool. It's got some like rock guarded flames on it, which is an interesting choice, but each their own, right? Let's see, because I do wonder what's under the hood of this one. The hood release should be right there. And it's a manual. Ooh, single cab short box manual. And what have we got under the hood? This one only has 3 different motors. 3.9, 5.2, or it is a 3.9. So this is a 3.9 V6, 5-speed single cab short box. This is actually kind of a unicorn of a truck. It's pretty cool. Not like super desirable with that motor in it, but that 3.9 V6 under the hood is just a 318 with 2 cylinders topped off. Very, very reliable, very good. And this one's actually really solid. To be honest, very solid. Other than a little whammo here. It's got a roll pan on the back. This is a cool ass truck. Big fan of that. Let's see. We got a Dakota here. Dakota 4x4. Actually, hang on. Before I go to that, let's finish this roll off here. So you got this late 80s, early 90s. They went all the way until 93 with this design of the second gen Ram. From 1980 was the first year, right up until 1993. Now this one's a little later because of that crosshair grille. It's 4x4, automatic. All right, that's kind of cool. Which, and being a power Rams are always 4x4 too. It's got worn lockers in it, and you know, it's quite a bit rusty, but it's pretty darn cool. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Yeah, and who knows? Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. Let's see. We got a Charger over here with dual exhaust and whatever else. This Charger, is it an RT or is it an SRT? No, I think it's just an RT. I think so. Which the RT would have, should have the 5.7 Hemi in it. I should know how to open these damn hoods, because my dad has a Magnum. It's the same freaking vehicle as this. There it goes. Oh, it's only a 3.5. So 3.5 with dual exhaust. Okay. So this is actually the motor that you want, technically, because this is the only engine that doesn't really have problems. So you take care of the timing, you know, make sure to do all your maintenance on time. This motor will last a very long time. Like timing belts, stuff like that. These cars do have electrical issues and whatever else, because welcome to Dodge, but, you know, pretty cool. It's interesting to see it with dual exhaust, but I bet it sounds actually pretty good. Here we have another SN95 GT Mustang. Now, what year is it? It's another 5-speed, actually. It's not on the door here. It's not like the Vox body there. But, okay, hood is popped. So this is a GT, but I think it's a 4.6. I think it's a later one, because if this is an earlier one, woohoo, I should know where it is. These are not very much different than a regular, come on. I should know how to open these. There we go. It is, oh shit, it's a 5-liter. Yo! Okay, so this is a 94 or a 95. That is a T5 manual. And this is what every Fox body person wants to find, because you want to swap to a 5-lug? This entire control arm setup will bolt onto a Fox body, no problem. 5-lug, use SN95 brake parts. It's honestly very nice, but this car actually is in fairly good shape. Like, and it's kind of rare to find it with a 5-liter in it. A little bit of rust right here, but I'm a big fan, because like when it didn't say 4.6 on it, I did wonder. And yep, sure shoot. Also, a Dodge Magnum. So this is an RT. So this is a 5.7 Hemi in it. Oh, it's an RT all-wheel drive. Okay. That changes things a little bit. So this is actually extremely rare. They only may have produced like a couple thousand of these with that. Now, what year is this one? Should be on the door here. Made in 04, so this is an 05, so this is the first year. You know, I've got the buttons on the steering wheel and everything. It does have the traditional dash, and you know, it's got an aftermarket shifter in it. Oh yeah, now this will have the 5.7 Hemi in it, and it's an all-wheel drive, which, again, the all-wheel drives are very rare to find. And finding the RT all-wheel drives, they didn't make too many of them. So they got a unique offset on the wheel too, so you can use other ones, but you know, there's quite a few tow trucks out here. Like there's another one. You know, I've seen I think 4 tow trucks total. All right, now let's go back to this Dakota, because if this Dakota is this a V8? Because if it happens to be a 92, which I don't know if it is, it's locked. It does have a 5-speed manual, which is cool in it, and being a 4x4 and everything, it's a good spec. Now, but the thing is, 92 318s actually have a really cool thing with them, and they used earlier heads on them from like 1970, very high compression heads, and oh yeah, they were very powerful vehicles. Basically, they, instead of like 220, 225 or whatever horsepower, they're like 250. So quite, if you find a 92, it's quite the little sleeper. Let's go over here. So, ooh, there's a nice little Jeep. It's not actually a Wrangler, I don't think. It's a YJ, I think. Might be a TJ. It might actually be a Wrangler, but I think this is, there we go. Yeah, it is a YJ. Okay, that's what I thought. At least I'm pretty sure this is. So like 80s. Yeah, this thing is cool as hell. Got it. Oh, it's a manual, and yeah, of course it's 4x4. They all were 4x4, but that is really, really cool. Dig it, it's probably a 4-liter under the hood. Much like, now, ooh, Camaro Z28. Yo, this is mid to late 70s. Like, this front end without, like, the rubber bumpers would have been about 76, 77, all the way up to 1981 or 82. But, you know, it's actually a pretty good nick overall. And let's see, is it unlocked? Looks like it is, but nah, I don't want to break the door handle, so I'm not going to do that. But very nice car, honestly. I like it. And these are not a small car by any stretch. You know, this is a car that's close to 17 feet long. So, kind of big. Now, here we have a interesting vehicle. There's actually a couple of these out here that I noticed. This is a Dodge Daytona, which it's got an automatic in it. Now, this is just actually a Chrysler Daytona, technically. This would have been the ES. So it's not like any of the special Shelbys or whatever. This is probably a V6. Not as cool as some of the earlier ones. Oh, wait a minute. It does have the pop-up lights. Hang on. I might be mistaken. You might have to retract my previous statements. Come on. There we go. Oh, there we go. Little 2.2, 2.5. This is 2.5. There we go. But it's a non-turbo by the looks of it. Because actually, well, the turbo, to be fair, would be buried in the back here, but I just don't see it. So I think this is just, yeah, this is just a 2.5 4-banger automatic. But it's got the pop-up lights, which is cool. And yeah, very, very cool. I like it. I like these Daytonas. It's just, you do have to watch the head gaskets on those little 2.5s, 2.2s. Another second, that's a weird hodgepodge. It's a 2nd-gen box, 2nd-gen cab, 4th-gen front end. Very interesting on that. Here we go. An Eclipse Spider turbo. Yo! This is a turbo one. So you can see the turbo bump. So these were very, very popular, especially after, you know, the first Fast and Furious movie came out. Everybody wanted one of these. Now, granted, most people don't want the convertibles, but it's still really, really cool. And This one, judging by its turbo, it's probably all-wheel drive too, which is just badass. And this one's actually fairly clean too. If I had more money, I'd be interested, but I spent all that money, and realistically, I don't think I can get this cheap anyways. So, not cheap enough. Guess, gotta save my shekels. Cause I'm spending it like mad right now. And yes, I bought a car, but I'll tell you about that later. Another Daytona, similar year to the other one, except this is the turbo. Automatic, but it is the turbo. So this would have either 2.2 or 2.5 liter turbo in it. And this was actually a Dodge Daytona, not a Chrysler Daytona. They made these Daytonas from 1984 right up until 1993, I think it was. Ooh, big old rustle right there. And like, this is only an ES, but it's got, you know, the turbo in it, which is cool. It's actually not in terrible shape other than that one little rust hole. Automatic, but who knows if it runs. Because again, these are usually parked for a reason. But very, very cool. Oh, let's see. I don't think there's anything else in this little vicinity here that I'm really too interested in. Like, you can see the rest of this though. Like, SoCal short box, which is kind of cool actually. 4x4 F-150 XL. Another OBS. Trailblazer, which, yeah, there's a cut up Mazda 6, you know, and another B series pickup truck there. So yeah, see, I'll talk to them, see if there's anything else out here.